What's up everyone, Ninja here, and today I was meant to do this video yesterday or the day before that, but I was too busy playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and all that, and I will be doing some Grand Theft Auto stuff. I don't know why this Virgin Media thing has popped up here. Uh, never normally does that, but here we go. This is every match in the fair Years of WrestleMania mode in WWE 2K14. And here we go. First match is for WrestleMania 1, which is Big John Studd versus Andre the Giant in the Body Slam Challenge. And as you see, there are, if you look at the fans, there is a fan wearing a Roddy Piper shirt. So, does that mean that Roddy Piper will be in the game or not? We do not know. And we're not sure and all that, but here we go. Andre the Giant just beat Big John Studd in the Body Slam Challenge. And I think this was also for $25,000, which Andre started throwing at the fans, and then only for Bobby Heenan to take it back and run off with it. Next up, we got WrestleMania 2 with Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy for the WWF Championship. Also, Bobby the Brain Heenan was in King Kong Bundy's corner. So does that mean that we're going to be having Bobby Heenan? I mean, managers in steel cage matches in the game, or is it only for this mode? We do not know. If they are, if you can put a manager in any match type, that would be amazing, because that's something I've been wanting for a long time. Next up, WrestleMania 3 Intercontinental Championship match, Macho Man Ricky Steamboat. Let's have a look at the fans. If you look at the fans, everyone's pretty much wearing Andre and Roddy Piper shirts. And also there's Macho Man Ricky Steamboat signs. And also George the Animal Steel had a part in this match where he shoved Randy Savage off the turnbuckle, only for Ricky Steamboat to pin him. This was a great match. And after that, we got the WWF Championship with Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. People claim this as a bad match, but this match was good. This was a good match. This is where Andre the Giant's undefeated streak ended, because he was beaten by Hulk Hogan. WrestleMania 4, we have the finals of the WWE Championship tournament, and also it is the $1 Million Man versus Randy Savage. Randy Savage had Hulk Hogan and Miss Elizabeth in his corner, whilst the $1 Million Man had Andre the Giant and Virgil. So does that mean that Virgil's going to be in the game and we're going to be having more than one manager at ringside? I sure hope this does. But yeah, again, I think it'd be good. Just looking at the fans just in case. Next up, it is the Macho Man Randy Savage versus Hulk Hogan for the WWE Championship. Mega Powers Collide. And here we got Miss Elizabeth, who was in a neutral corner. She was in both corners. People also call this a bad match, but this match I haven't really seen this match properly. I've seen clips of it and it looked quite good. Next up, WrestleMania 6, I believe. Yeah, it's WrestleMania 6. We have Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior for the WWE Championship and Intercontinental Championship. This is when the Ultimate Warrior defeated Hulk Hogan to have both belts. Next up, we have WrestleMania 7 with Sergeant Slaughter versus Hulk Hogan. Also, General Adnan, or whatever his name was in Sergeant Slaughter's corner, but I don't see him at ringside. Thus, WWE do not own that name anymore, so there's a chance that he won't be in the game. Next up, we have WrestleMania 8 with Ric Flair versus the Macho Man Randy Savage. And I'm looking about for signs and all that. And also, in case you didn't know, Ric Flair had. Oh, plus this is also for the WWF Championship. Ric Flair had Mr. Perfect at ringside. If you're not sure who Mr. Perfect is, he is the father of Curtis Axel. So does that mean that'll be good? We can have Mr. Perfect and Curtis Axel if Curtis Axel is going to be in the game. From I'm reading rumor sites and people are saying that Curtis Axel is going to be in the game. People say it's going to be DLC, but we're not sure. 2K like to keep their things really updated. And here we go, the end of the Hulk Hogan or Golden Era, if you call it. We have Bret Hart versus Yokozuna for the WWF Championship. This is WrestleMania 10, I believe. I think now. No wait, this is WrestleMania. I can't remember. I'm not really good with my WrestleMania, keeping track of my WrestleManias. Well, with the Roman numerals. Wait, this one was. Alright, this one was 8. This is WrestleMania 9, I believe. Alright, so we have WrestleMania 9 where Yokozuna defeated Bret Hart for the WWF Championship, only for Hulk Hogan to come in and beat Yokozuna. Next up, WrestleMania 10. This is WrestleMania 10. Okay, we got Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels for the Intercontinental Championship. This was back when you had Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon, aka Scott Hall, say that they were both Intercontinental Champion. And this was to see who was the unified Intercontinental Champion. And also Shawn Michaels had Diesel at ringside, and Diesel is in the game, which is good. And I'm gonna have a look at the fans. I don't think it's CNA. I've been hearing a lot about the fans. I keep getting told to look at the fans. But here's the thing. And as you see, you can see both Intercontinental belts hanging on the ladder. Does that mean that we can have both tag belts on the ladder too? I sure hope it does. Next up, this was the main event of WrestleMania 10, where Bret Hart and Yokozuna had 2 matches that night. Bret Hart had a match with Owen Hart, and then a match with Yokozuna, and Yokozuna had a match with Lex Luger, then a match with Bret Hart. So and here's what happened. Roddy Piper was the guest referee for this match, in case you didn't know. He was the guest referee for the match, whilst you had Mr. Perfect, the guest referee for the other match. And also, after Bret Hart defeated Yokozuna, everyone came out to celebrate with him, and I think that included a lot of other people, so I do not see most of them being in, but I'm thinking most of them are going to come out. Congratulate him. WrestleMania 11, Undertaker versus King Kong Bundy. Undertaker had Paul Bearer at ringside, whilst King Kong Bundy had the $1 Million Man. I think what happened was, I can't remember what the stipulation was. I can't really remember, but I remember Kuma. You may know Kuma as the Godfather or Papa Shango. He came down and stole Paul Bearer's urn, only to melt it and turn it into a necklace, building up for their casket match at SummerSlam. Next up, this was the main event, which was Diesel versus Shawn Michaels. Here we go, Diesel and Shawn Michaels. Next up, WrestleMania 12. We have The Undertaker versus Diesel. I remember this match. I actually remember this match. I've seen this match a lot. It's amazing. I like it. Yeah, it was amazing. But Vince McMahon was on commentary, and even though they said that Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler are going to be on commentary the whole thing, it'll be good if they had every commentator, had like Paul Heyman and all that. Next up, it was the main event, the 1-hour WWF Championship Iron Man match. We had managers at ringside. There were managers at ringside, but WWE do not own those names. of the managers. So here we go. We got Shawn Michaels doing that. I actually remember this match. They normally show this match on the Vintage Collection when a pay-per-view is coming up. Next up, WrestleMania 13 with Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin. We've got Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin here. This is the end of the New Generation era. Some people may call it the Raw era and all that. You can call it whatever you want. But this was a submission match, and also in this match there was fighting in the crowd. So does that mean that we will have fighting in the crowd? And plus, also, if you look at the referee, it is WCW referee Charles Robinson, and he's also a current referee today. And also, Ken Shamrock was the guest referee for this match, so they had him in the last game, and I think they have a contract saying that they can put him in the game. So I'm not really sure why they're not putting him in the game. Maybe this was like an early picture, or maybe this, and they just haven't put him in yet, or maybe they've got him in and they're going to reveal him like later on. Next up, we got the Attitude Era. This match was in in WWE 13, in the 13 years of WrestleMania. I mean, not the 13 years of the Attitude Era mode, but this was in the bonus match. You have the Lord of Darkness Undertaker and Kane, and if you look over there carefully, I'm pretty sure that's a Big Boss Man shirt. I'm not really sure. People have been saying that there's a fan of a Boss Man shirt. It's the white one. Next up, this match was also in. It was The Rock versus Stone Cold. It was The Rock versus Stone Cold. This match was in last year's game. And also, in case you didn't play last year's game or you haven't seen this match, I'm not really sure if this is the match I've seen. Let's have a look here. Yeah, this is the match. I've seen this match. I like this match. I remember seeing two Stone Cold Rock matches. I'm not sure which ones they were. So it was this one and WrestleMania 19, and the one at WrestleMania 19, which was when The Rock finally won, but that's for later. So this match here this match was actually quite good. So here we go. We got that. And this is a match they didn't have. It was Triple H, The Rock, Big Show, and Mick Foley. This was a Fatal 4-Way Elimination match, and here we go. We got Mick Foley going to do an elbow drop off and on top of The Rock. And as you see, if we look closer now, you can actually see the Big Boss Man shirt there. So does that mean Big Boss Man will be in the game? And okay, having a look around here, we have Triple H, The Rock, and Mick Foley, and the Big Show was also eliminated earlier. And also we had Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Mr. McMahon, and Linda McMahon. Well, we already know Vince McMahon's going to be in the game, and I heard Stephanie McMahon said she was going to be a part of the 30 Years of WrestleMania Mode. We're not really sure about Shane and Linda. To be perfectly honest, I don't think they're going to put Linda in the game, and maybe have Vince McMahon in the game. I'm not really sure. And here we go. We have when Stone Cold turned heel. It is The Rock versus Stone Cold. This match here was the main event. This was when Stone Cold turned heel for the first. Well, turned heel. He wasn't heel for the first time, because I'm pretty sure he was heel when he first came to WWE. Next up, WrestleMania 18. It is Hulk Hogan versus The Rock. Well, Hollywood Hogan and The Rock. Looking around, I'm sure it seemed to be the same. But we have this match. I remember this match. This match was originally to be Stone Cold and The Rock, and it's not Stone Cold and The Rock, Stone Cold and Hulk and Hollywood Hogan, but they didn't want. But because of issues, because there was a lot of issues between them. Well, not like bad issues. They changed it to Stone Cold and Scott Hall. Next up, we have the main event. It was the undisputed champion Chris Jericho versus a returning Triple H. this match, well, and also Chris Jericho had Stephanie McMahon in his corner in this match, so there is a chance that we could see her in the game. Next up, WrestleMania 19 with Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. This here was my favorite match of all time. You may have been reading my tweets that this is my favorite match of all time. Also, we got WrestleMania, and also we have the final Rock and Stone Cold match. This was the last time Stone Cold and The Rock had a match. But here's the thing. Well, I'm quite surprised that they're not having Triple H and Booker T, or well, Booker T is still in the WWE, but I think the reason they're not including this match is because Booker T hasn't had enough WrestleMania matches, so there would be no point in having him in the game. And also, they can't have the Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle match because you had Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas at ringside. Well, once you got Kurt Angle in TNA, you'll have WWE do not own the name of Charlie Haas, and plus Shelton Benjamin is currently wrestling in Japan. I believe. WrestleMania 20 is Big Show versus John Cena for the United States Championship. And then you have the worst match ever, Brock Lesnar and Goldberg, with Stone Cold Steve Austin's the guest referee. So I'm just wondering if they're gonna have the chance for this game, for the match. I'm just wondering if they are gonna have the chance. The boring Hogan, we want Brett. But it was so boring. I can't imagine. And also, oops, went too far down. We have John Cena versus JBL for the WWE Championship here. This match was good. I like this match. Next up, we have Edge versus Mick Foley with Lita at ringside, which pretty much confirms Lita, which is good because Lita is one of my favorite divas of all time. So here we go. We got Edge spear Mick Foley off the apron and into the ladder. And I'm wondering, can you do this in a normal exhibition match, or is it just in Fair Use WrestleMania mode? I know this is a cutscene, but it would be good if we could do this in a normal match, because I want to do this on matches for my universe mode. Next up, WrestleMania 23 with Batista and The Undertaker. I remember this match. I remember watching this match just to see how much effort Batista put in the match. And he did, I think it was like a spine buster through. There were two announce tables in the match, which in this match involved both of them. And also, we already know that there's only going to be one announce table, which is unfortunate. So that is going to be a little different. Next up, we have Shawn Michaels and John Cena for the WWE Championship. I remember Shawn Michaels did a pile driver on the bomb portion of the steps. Does that mean that we're going to be able to use the bottom portion of the steps as a weapon? We were able to use them in the Raw game, the game that was just called Raw. Next up, WrestleMania 24, we have the career-threatening match with Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. This was, Vince McMahon came out and Ric Flair came out and said that he will stay here forever. But then Vince McMahon came out and said next match he loses will be his last. And MVP, Ken Anderson all failed. But then Shawn Michaels came in because Ric Flair wanted a match with Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels was the one to end it. Next up, WrestleMania, and this was after the match. This was not the main event, however, it was the WWE Championship match with Randy Orton, John Cena, and Triple H. So I'm wondering if this counts as a double finisher. because you got the double attitude adjustment, you got, or the double FU if you want to call it that. You got the double choke slam, you got the double shell shock. You have all those moves there. But here we go. Next up, we got the Universe era with WrestleMania 25 match for the World Heavyweight Championship. We have Edge versus John Cena versus Big Show. Vicky Guerrero had a part in this match. I'm just having a look at the shirts. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that's a Hacksaw Jim Duggan shirt. So does that mean he'll be in the game? Okay. Alright, and here we go. And Vicky Guerrero had a part in this match where Edge accidentally speared her off the apron. So does that mean that Vicky Guerrero will be in the game as a manager? Next up, we have Triple H versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. And this was, if Triple H would get disqualified, he would lose the championship. Next up, WrestleMania 26, we have Chris Jericho versus Edge. We have Jericho and Edge here, and as you see, the fans are looking up pretty much updated. So this stage, I don't know why. I'm not saying this was my favorite WrestleMania of all time. My favorite WrestleMania has been WrestleMania 19. So we have Edge and Jericho. This was when Edge won the Rumble, returned to face Jericho. But after the match, Jericho won, and Edge ended up spearing him off the announce table and through the barricade. Next up, we have Batista and John Cena for the WWE Championship. This match was, well, what happened was Cena won the WWE Championship. Then Mr. McMahon said that you'll be going to WrestleMania if you can beat Batista. Batista bound for the WWE Championship. And then Batista got himself disqualified so he could face Cena. Next up, here was the main event. Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, The Streak versus The Career. This match here was Shawn Michaels' last match. And also, if I'm not mistaken, Undertaker did a jumping tombstone pile driver. So does that mean that we will be able to see a jumping tombstone pile driver? I hope it does. I hope we have jumping finishers in the game, which would be amazing. Next up, we have Edge and Alberto Del Rio. This was Edge's last match after where he faces Royal Rumble winner Alberto Del Rio. Here's something. Christian and Brodus Clay had a part in this match. I'm pretty sure Edge speared Brodus Clay, and plus Christian was at Edge's ringside. Next up, we have The Miz versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. This match, well, we had a double count out. We had a double count out in this match, then only for The Rock to come out and announce it to be a no disqualification match for The Rock to rock bomb John Cena, thus having the John Cena Rock match at WrestleMania. And here's the thing, Alex Riley was in The Miz's ringside, so does that mean that Alex Riley's going to be in the game? I hope Alex Riley's in the game. I like that. I like him. He deserves a push. Next up, we have WrestleMania 28 with The Undertaker versus Triple H with Shawn Michaels as the guest referee in a Hell in a Cell match. So this match here, we had Shawn Michaels kinda interfere in this match, but The Undertaker still won. This was also the end of an era match. Next up, WWE Championship, Best in the World versus the Best in the World match, CM Punk versus Chris Jericho. And also, it was announced in the last minute that if CM Punk got himself disqualified, he would have lost the championship. And then we have The Rock and Cena. like we all know. Next up, we have CM Punk versus The Undertaker, plus Paul Bear was at ringside with the urn. So does that mean Paul Bear? Not Paul Bear. Paul Heyman. Paul Bear's dead now. Rest in peace. We have The Undertaker locking in the Hell's Gate, and also Paul Heyman had a part in this match. And we pretty much already know that Paul Heyman's going to be in the game. Next up, we got Brock Lesnar and Triple H, which Shawn Michaels was at ringside, and also you could hear Uber Hexer Nova shout, and that would be good if Uber Hexer Nova was all of a sudden confirmed. And plus also we had Smalls 99 at that pay-per-view, and plus WrestleMania 22 we had Tony Pizza Guy. I've never been to a WrestleMania event. I've only ever been to TNA events, which I'm pretty sure I told you those stories. And then we have Rock Cena 2, which wasn't as good as the first time. And there we go. And plus also Cody Rhodes is confirmed via Mustache. And okay, I hope you've enjoyed this. See you later. Bye. Oh, and also I will be making another video on Tuesday discussing the roster reveal that happened on Monday Night Raw. So I hope you've enjoyed this. See you later. Bye.